We got a Kirby Air Riders direct to talk about, man. This is coming tomorrow, hot off the presses. Sakurai is going to give us a 1-hour direct. I've seen a lot of people talking about Sakurai's always yapping, this is gonna be way too long. But there's two things I came across while researching this video. One, Sakurai did a video on his YouTube channel talking about how presentations and presenting things is all about speed. You have to get what you can across quickly without wasting the audience's time. So that's one. And second, I actually went and rewatched the first direct again, and yeah, he actually showed a lot of stuff. Granted, there were a couple moments that were a bit, okay, bro, like let's speed it up a bit. With the machine and the rider part, that was kind of goofy. And there were moments when he showed the new characters where there was just no talking, and you just saw the character racing with a bit of flavor text at the bottom explaining who the character is and what they're about. But besides those two things, I would say he didn't waste any time in that direct. He showed us a bunch of new characters. He showed us how all the characters have copy abilities now. He showed us the new city trial mechanics. He even showed the Final Smash-esque meter. Yeah, he showed a lot of stuff. For the veteran players, I can understand how you're seeing this and you're like, yo, I already know this. Just get to the good stuff. But there's a lot of Switch 2 owners that weren't even born when Kirby Air Ride initially came out back on the GameCube. He kind of had to explain this stuff to a lot of new people. But I would say the 45 minutes was justified. Since he showed so much in that direct and he went through all the basics, with this one, you gotta wonder, what else could he be showing that's gonna take up an hour-long direct? Which leads me to believe that he's going to show a lot of stuff. Starting with a new mode, I'm predicting, just like most of you are, that there's going to be a story mode in this game. Now, there's two reasons why I believe there's going to be a story mode. One, a new character was shown at the end of the last direct in a scene that looked unlike anything else Sakurai showed in the direct. This barren desert with these floating blocks and blobs in the background. Not sure what that is. And this potentially new character racing onto the scene. People say this is dark matter. I've seen people say this is King DDD in a new form, maybe consumed by dark matter. And this had a whole CG cutscene. Nothing else in the direct was in CG. All of the character reveals in that first direct were completely through gameplay. And the other thing that makes me think that there's going to be a story mode is that Sakurai straight up said at the end of the direct that there was still a lot more he didn't show that he needs to show us. He said that it was like all this wonderful, cool stuff. Definitely seemed like he was teasing something big. I think the story mode is going to be heavily inspired by World of Light from Smash Ultimate. Now, the reason I think that is because pretty much everything we saw in that direct, from the font to some of the models like King DDD's models and the food that you'd pick up on the ground, that was all like either very Smash inspired or literally lifted from Smash Ultimate. I think at the very least, it'll be a world map where you, as one of the selectable characters, can go through Kirby's history in all these little maps, navigate through it all in a top-down style. Each stage you select is either going to be a course with some kind of unique rule set, or it could be City Trial with a unique rule set as well. Now, in terms of new characters, we've got 12 characters revealed so far. If you look at the character select screen, you could probably fit 12 more characters in there. But I got 4 characters that I'm predicting. First one is going to be Marks. This is an easy choice. I mean, Sakurai loves this character. He put him in Smash Ultimate as a boss. Just feels like the most likeliest choice. I'm surprised he actually wasn't shown in the first direct. Second character is Deroche. I think that's how you pronounce it. The rat from Squeak Squad. Feel like it would be pretty cool if he was here, so I'm gonna predict him. Second character is Mr. Frosty. This guy is in every single Kirby game as a boss. Again, super iconic boss. Feel like he's probably gonna make it in. Last character is one I've seen a lot of people predict, and I'm gonna predict her as well. It is Adeline from Kirby 64. I would be very surprised if she doesn't make it into the roster. Let me know in the comments who y'all are predicting. And by the way, make sure to subscribe and like. Y'all already know it helps out with the algorithm. But without further ado, let's talk about racing. We've seen 6 maps so far, including Steam Gust Forge, which he debuted on the Nintendo Today app. The original game had 9 maps in total. I'm guessing that there's going to be around 10 to 12 tracks in total. I don't know if he'll show all the tracks here. I'd like to think he'd keep some as a surprise. Perhaps he'll show 2 more tracks and keep the last 2 secret. But let's talk about City Trial. There has to be more of this we haven't seen yet. Only 1 map, in my opinion, is kinda disappointing. Maybe the map will evolve as you unlock stuff in other modes, or maybe there's different iterations and variations of it you can choose from in the menu. But I'm probably coping though. He did say that this is the only map. Maybe he's going to bring back the original map as DLC or something. I just don't understand the thought process behind making City Trial the main course in this game and only giving us one map. Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. So I feel like he's hiding something with City Trial. Now let's talk about the main menu. I think story mode or whatever new mode that's in the game is going to be front and center in the main menu, which is why he didn't show it in the first direct. But yeah, I'm expecting the main menu to be heavily inspired by Smash Ultimate. I kind of don't want it to be like that though, because, you know, Smash Ultimate's menu is cool, but it's just these big, blocky buttons, and I get the theme behind it. You know, Smash Ultimate came out on the Switch, and the Switch was a handheld console with a 720p screen, so you want like this iPhone-inspired, giant, big, app-like menu. But to me at least, you know, we got a 4K console now. I'm usually playing my Switch 2 on the TV. I'd like something with a bit more breathing room like Smash Bros. Brawl or even Smash 4. Top Ride. I think Top Ride is going to return. Initially, I thought it was going to get cut, but since this direct is an hour long, that's starting to make me think otherwise. You know, you got to fill the time with something. And everything from the OG game is returning, but Top Ride. So that seems like too much of an omission. I think Sakurai is going to bring it back. Now here's something brand new. I think we're going to get trophies in this game like in the Smash Brothers games. Now Smash Brothers Ultimate didn't have trophies, but it had spirits. So there was no flavor text, and there was no 3D model trophy viewer like in the other games. Likely because Smash Brothers is like the video game history museum, and it got to a point with Ultimate where having so many characters with models and flavor text from all these different franchises, it just got to a point where that was just unsustainable, so they went with the whole spirit model. But with Air Riders, they can bring back trophies with the flavor text and all that good stuff, since the scope will be solely on the Kirby franchise. That way, when some characters inevitably don't make it into Kirby Air Ride, you can at least represent them with a 3D model trophy and some flavor text, just like the classic trophies we used to have in Smash 4. Another reason why I think they're bringing back trophies is because in the first direct, you can see in, I think, the character select screen or when you beat a match, that there's in-game currency. So this currency has to be used for something, and I think it'll be used for buying trophies. But that's not the only thing I think trophies will be used for. I'm predicting another new mode here, and that would have to be the special orders from Smash Wii U. Now, for those who haven't played Smash 4 on the Wii U, in that game there are these two game modes called Master Orders and Crazy Orders, which were super underrated. I'm blanking out on the details, but basically, Master Orders, you would select one out of 3 missions from Master Hand, and if you complete them quickly, you get coins that you can then use to buy trophies. Now, Crazy Orders was, for lack of a better term, it was crazy. So you had Crazy Hands giving you missions, but to even play a game of Crazy Orders, you have to put down 5,000 coins to even play a match. So if you end up losing a mission in Crazy Orders, you lose your coins. But if you end up winning, the reward is much more substantial. I can see them doing a similar thing with this game. If Sakurai is bringing back trophies, it makes sense to bring back Master Orders and Crazy Orders too, especially since he seems to be trying to make his magnum opus with this game. I mean, the fact that he introduced all these new characters and all of them have copy abilities just makes me think that he's going all out. And, you know, why not bring everything that worked in Smash? Why not bring back City Trial? Why not bring back Special Orders and just go all out? Now, let's just go rapid fire real quick. I'm expecting there to be photo mode. You know, this is pretty much a give me. It was in Smash Ultimate. It's in pretty much all the modern Nintendo games. You know, Pokemon Legends ZA, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. They all got photo mode. I'm also expecting an online hub. Like in Smash Ultimate, there was an online hub where you could, you know, download Mii Fighter costumes, share replays, or stages you created. I think at least we'll have an online hub to share replays. I don't think they're going to bring back Mii's as a character here, but I did hint at stage creation, and I think that could be a thing. They could introduce some type of mode where you can create your own maps and your own racetracks. Granted, I don't know if he'd actually do this given how difficult of a task that would be, but it's Sakurai, you know, I wouldn't put it past him. And if you do have an online hub to share replays, I can see him also giving us a stage creator mode to share our own stages online. And they'd probably have to put some crazy censorship there because, you know, Smash Ultimate's online hub has a lot of crazy replay videos and stuff, so I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, do yourself a favor and don't check Smash Ultimate's online hub. There's just a lot of degenerate stuff on there, jeez. Lastly, I'm expecting paid DLC of some form to be in this game, and just free DLC as well. I can see them doing, you know, with Smash Ultimate, you had the Spirit Board, and you had these tournament events that would take place throughout the game's life. I can see them doing something similar here. Perhaps they'll do a thing where if you do online city trial, certain items or events will be more common than others, and it'll be themed around something. And with paid DLC, they could do new characters that don't make the cut in this game. They could do new maps. They can do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I'm expecting DLC to happen. This is an online racing game in 2025. I know some people don't even want to entertain the thought of DLC with this game because they just want Sakurai to get to work on Smash and make a new one. But I'm good with Smash Ultimate right now, to be honest. I'm not really craving a new Smash just yet. And this is the first Air Ride game in 20 years. He's probably not going to make a new one. So it just makes sense to just milk this game for what it's worth and give us some DLC. So yeah, I think DLC is a given here. And those are all my predictions, but let me know in the comments, what are you guys predicting that he's going to show? I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow after the Direct, and we're going to take a close look at Kirby Air Riders. Take care, y'all.